with like Thakadhimi ThakitaTha Dhi Ki Na Tho Dhi Ki Na Tho Dhi Ki Na Tho. Welcome to episode 222 of Konnakol 2020, the series in which every day of the year I show you something about Konnakol, that is the vocal percussion tradition of South India. I am Carlitos from Slovenia, and today is August the 9th, and we are continuing the Summer of Theermanams. That means that every day in August I will be presenting a Theermanam, that is this very common type of composition in Carnatic music, that is centered around the components of the day's date. So today, August the 9th, what it means is that the length of our composition is exactly 57 aksharas long. That is because 57 is the sum of 9, 8, 20 and 20. As all the previous Theermanams so far, this is rendered in chaturashra, nadai, madhyama, kalam, that is 4 subdivisions to a beat, and when we add the necessary filler beats, the composition lasts 64 aksharas or 2 avartanams. And for more information about these concepts, about this terminology also that I'm using, you are very welcome to visit the playlist Konnakol 2020 Basics, and in particular the 2 episodes about Theermanams that I put out, that they are episodes 122 and 123, because that in those 2 episodes I explain a lot more about the concepts that we are kind of breezing through in this Summer of Theermanams. And probably this is no surprise to those of you who have been following the Summer of Theermanams, because today we have another entry into that Book of 17s, which is something I just came up with, so bear with. So what this means is that this is another Theermanam that has a phrase of 17 beats as its main feature. We have seen other Theermanams with featuring this phrase already, 3, this is the 4th such, because I truly believe that this is a phrase that is quite hard to get right and is very useful to know how to play it. So the structure, as you can see, is 17, 3 gap, 17, 3 gap, 17. And we perform the 17 in exactly the same way as before, which is Thakadhimi ThakitaTha Dhi. Don't forget that that can help you if you subdivide each of the longer phrases into 2. So instead of saying just Ta, Di, Ki, Na, instead you recite them as Thakadhimi ThakitaTha. That can help. And then the 3 gap is simply ding. And it never hurts to repeat that for these 3 gap phrases, such as ding and tang, you need to pronounce all 3 components, such as di, n, g, because that is the way for you to know that you will be pronouncing with the proper length. Because if you just pronounce ding, you know, it might not be exactly what you need to do, and it might be wrong, and you have to start again. So anytime you see this, ding, try to say it slowly in first in your mind. So ding, 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 and then you'll be fine. 57 is not a good number in a way, because we cannot just start with the Theermanam at the downbeat in Adi Talam and reach the end. So we need to prefix it with a number of filler beats. And to know exactly how many, what we do is we take the number 64, which is the number of aksharas in 2 cycles of Adi Talam, and from it we subtract our length, which is 57. So 64 minus 57 is 7. So that's the number of filler beats that we need to recite before starting the Theermanam itself. And here in the transcription you can see in green these filler beats, that they are 7, and then we start with the Theermanam. As always, the first 17 is in red, the second 17 is in orange, and the last and third 17 is in yellow, while the gaps continue to be colored in white. And I want to bring attention to something here. This is the first time in this mini series of Theermanams based on the phase for 17 that all of them, all the 17s, start on the exact same place. And by that I mean that they start, the beginning of the 17, they start on the 4th akshara on a beat. That means that it's always going to sound the same way, such as Ta, Di, Ki, Na, Thom. In all three instances, they sound the same, which is something to keep in mind in case, you are getting lost or something. That's what you need to aim, that all three times they start on the last akshara of a particular beat. And now I'm going to recite this again at a slower tempo. So if you want, this is the time for you to pause the video and go learn this on your own. And then when you return, you can recite it with me. And you can also like the channel on YouTube, maybe, if you haven't already. So whenever you're ready, let's do this. Thakadhimi ThakitaTha Dhi Ki Na Tho DhingTha Dhi Ki Na Tho DhingTha Dhi Ki Na Tho Dhi. So there you go, another entry into this mini series of the Summer of Theermanams, another entry into this mini series of Theermanams centered around the phrase for 17. And let me know what you think. I'm always eager to receive feedback, so you can use the YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook comments, or you can reach me via my social networks displayed here, and I'll be very glad to hear what you think. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks a lot for watching. I have been Carlitos from Slovenia, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.